welcome. We are going to do the demo for the arms. So we're starting on the arms right now, so we're going to begin with exploring range of motion. So really, when you're doing an actual session, by the time you get here, you probably already have a really good idea about their range of motion in their shoulder, especially if you've done side work or something like that. But since we're starting here today, my favorite position is a lunge position because it allows me the greatest potential of movement. And this hand that is on the shoulder, I'm resting it. I'm not doing a compression, I'm listening, because what can happen in the shoulder, if you have any crepitus or where the shoulder catches, I can feel that or see it with my hands. So I start movement, I'll do a little bit of passive joint movement and I'll come around and a little bit stiff there. So I'm getting that information with this hand. So I'm going to slowly begin to bring the arm above the head, see, in my lunge position, so I can move up here. And this is pretty common. Let me show you. So here his elbow is down. As I bring his arm up, it's pretty common. See how his elbow just comes right up. So he's got a tight shoulder. So I need to be mindful of that when I go and work up in this area. So I'll just bring the arm all the way up and see how it goes. Okay, so he's got a limitation there, so that gives me good information. And then, just as an extra, it feels good to me, I like to come back and just do a traction. It feels good. I always, Shiatsu's about the practitioner anyway. Okay, so now, palm is down, and we've got the large intestine meridian right here. And we've got the triple heater meridian right here. So this would be a great time to do some nice point work. You can use any tool that calls to you. You can use fingers, you can use palms. I'm going to come in here with my knee and do a compression because I know there's a sweet spot right there, right by large intestine 10 and 9. So I'll come and do some compressions. You can also do just grasping, or you can choose to just hold points. And then we'll bring the arm out perpendicular with the palm up, and see how I have a pillow that extends the mat. So I really like to trace the lung meridian. So the lung meridian is here, and then the pericardium meridian is here. So those are the two meridians that you can access in this position. But the lung, I like to just hold lung 1. And I'm going to keep this hand here at lung 1, and then I'm going to trace. I'm not going to worry about points. I'm going to trace the meridian going down. Another thing that's nice, again, with your knees, you could, if you wanted to, come in and do some compressions on the forearm. And now I'm going to bring his arm above his head. So I already know that he's got some tightness in his shoulder. So I could choose to put a pillow here, but I'm going to use my body because I want to encourage his arm to get a little bit lower. So instead of using a pillow, if I had someone that really had a tight range of motion, sometimes it's that tight, okay? Sometimes they can't bring their arm above their head, so of course you wouldn't do it. You can't go past 90 degrees. I'm going to come in and come down. So we've got the heart meridian here and the small intestine meridian here. So I like to come in here. Here is the posterior wall of the axilla. So this is latissimus dorsi right here. So I like to come in, and I'm using the side of my hand here and hooking in, and I'm really getting into that. See, when I press, his elbow can go a little bit lower. So now I'm going to work on heart and small intestine. See if it's a little bit lower. So as you can see, I could work in this area for quite some time. I might loosen it up since he's so tight and come in and get the back of the shoulder a little bit too, since he's so tight. But really, it's this pec. Okay. Okay. Now, come in and do some work on the palm. Hands can take a lot of pressure. Arms can take a lot of pressure. So sometimes it's just real nice and efficient to just come in with your knee and just do the nice compressions, especially on the forearm. I could press large intestine 4 if I knew he was suffering and had any kind of pain. I would do that throughout the entire session if I knew that there was some pain somewhere. Any opportunity I would have to press large intestine 4, I would press large intestine 4. And then slowly flexing and extending the wrist and the fingers. Particularly for massage therapists, we tend to hyperextend a lot, and so going to extension isn't really good for us. So I usually limit the range of motion in the wrist so that it doesn't go into full, like a big extension, and I just work more the fingers, really have them come back. Detail work on the hands is really, really nice. So taking your time. So again, I'm supporting the carpals and sliding my thumb with some power. And don't get alarmed. You'd be surprised at people's range of motion. So if you watch him go back, see how far back he goes? Okay. Now, I'm going to show you how to flip the wrist, quickly flip the wrist. So I'm going to have my thumbs on the anterior part of the wrist, and then my index finger is above the wrist, and my middle finger is below. So I'm going to get his wrist to move quite quickly. Now look at my arms. My arms aren't moving, so I'm not doing this, okay? I'm basically pivoting his wrist on my thumb using my fingers like that. And once you get good at this, then you can do side to side too. Stop. Okay. Alright. And did I snap? Let's snap. Didn't do that yet. So rolling, squeezing. So now I got a nice transition for you to go to the other side. I'm going to hold on to the hand and stand over my client. And I like to hold at the wrist. To me, it feels most supported. So I hold at the wrist, get a nice big bend, and let my noodle become a noodle. There we go. And so first, see how I'm getting nice passive joint movement for his head as well. But then I can come in and do slow stretches. Pull the shoulders down. Now, personally, I do not like being lifted up with my head coming off of the mat. It's too much hyperextension for my neck. But I know a lot of other people do like it. I personally don't like it at all, so please never do it to me. But so I'm gonna go ahead and get in a nice stance and just lean my body weight back. So if I do this, you can do it in a limited way, keeping the head on, or not do it at all. So now I get to move to the second arm. So just a quick review of the second arm. I'm going to get in my lunge position. This hand is listening for any limitations or crepitus, clicking, cracking. Sliding up, see his elbow, coming down. And then nice traction. So first we work with the hand palm down, working on large intestine and triple warmer, doing whatever kind of compressions you would like to do. Palms, thumbs, even knees. I probably wouldn't use my knee on the upper arm. And then the next part, arms perpendicular. We have the lung meridian, pericardium meridian. So any work that you want to do here with compressions, with your knee, I like to trace the lung meridian. Okay. And then bringing the arm above the head for heart and small intestine. And again, supporting the arm with whatever it is that they find. If his elbow doesn't come all the way down, I can use my leg, or I could use a pillow if I wanted to. If someone's really bad, I just bend their elbow and work like this. And then bringing the arm down. And then making presses into the palm. So if you're going to do thumb presses, use your body weight. If you do this is just a lot more efficient, and you can just use your body weight. But I would just come in with my knee. So slowly flex and extend. Do a little bit. And each finger. And then quickly flip the wrist. And squeeze one snap. And from here, we'll move up to sit above the head to do the neck work. I can throw one little piece in, another move. It's a nice move. So I'm going to bring his arms, both of his arms above his head. And I'm going to have the elbows bent because I know he's tight. I'm going to put my knees on his hands and come in and work both. problems. Thank you.